Okay, we are recording thanks to our video editing team. So we will get stuck straight into this AMA. It's a slightly shorter AMA because it's sort of an update and answering a couple of questions as a follow-on from Dubai and with the NFT marketplace around the corner. So all of the AMAs going forward will be recorded and they'll be then repurposed. Apologies it's taken so long to get to this stage. No real reason why, but going forward they will all be recorded. So just to follow up a couple of points from the last AMA that took place, some questions that weren't answered properly, and some other small updates as well. So the question was asked about the CertiK audit. I've just spoken to them today, and although it still says 5%, they just haven't updated the security leaderboard, and they have just told me they should be finished with the preliminary audit today. So hopefully, I've asked them to update the security leaderboard, so that should show our status in the preliminary scoring, and then going forward from there. The World Blockchain Summit event sort of concluded, and that went really well. And I have been in touch with the team, Trescon, who run these events, and we are discussing with them the future possibility of being one of the tiered sponsors for a event in the future. So that's ongoing, and we will release that information as and when something is secured or isn't secured. But keep an eye out on Twitter for that. So far 49 people have been sent their tokens. It's sort of trickling out at present to everyone's ERC20 wallets that they gave us, and that is from Gate and BKEX. I believe about 7 or 8 from BKEX and the remainder from Gate. There are another 10 to 12 on the spreadsheet that have been verified that just missed the cutoff today, and there are some more people that have emailed in over the last day or two, and we're still getting emails today. So as long as you've emailed in before the 31st at 23:59, that's absolutely fine. So if you know anyone that has got any tokens on any of those exchanges, then please get them to email in. You don't have to have the forms finished, but if you email in asking for the form before the cutoff date, that's fine. The reason we're doing that is because we're just trying to draw a line in the sand and get this all behind us. And after it's been so long, we think that 4 or 5 days is enough time if you want your tokens. so that there, the our friends at CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap are moving even slower than they normally do, and I've just been chasing them up to try and update things like the white paper link and all of the circulating supplies. Reference to circulating supply. Now, there's been a little bit of back and forth and opinions on whether the circulating supply should include all unlocked tokens, regardless of whether they are in the team wallet or whether they are in private wallets. I know I can feel Sigwo burning to get up on the stage here and scream that to everyone. And from a technical standpoint, we agree that is the case. If they're not locked, they're unlocked. And to that end, first little snippet of alpha, and we will be locking up another 100 million tokens very shortly, and then the remainder tokens will be unlocked. So the circulating market cap at the moment was down at 354 million tokens. Now that obviously was discounting the large treasury wallets and that we control as a team. We will be we'll be locking another 100 million, and then we'll be updating the API endpoints to specify that it will contain all of the unlocked tokens, even the ones that we control in the treasury that you can see at the one of the the top wallets. So that's the answer. That's what we decided. We have only locked another 100 million, not all of them, because we have significant partnerships coming up, marketing, and there will be the requirement to incentivize projects and partners with token unlocks here and there. So we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot by tying everything up but we also want to show that commitment to the fact that we acknowledge what's happened previously, and going forward, we think that we can still manage, or we know we can still manage the situation with the remaining tokens left unlocked. And they will be, I'm trying to second guess the questions I know are going to be coming up, and they will be unlocked on a vesting schedule. It won't just be locked up for a period of time, then they won't all just come exploding back into the circulating supply. They will be drip fed back in. We haven't got a specific time on that one yet, but please obviously just keep an eye out, and we will announce that as and when the specific time and dates are released. I haven't even looked at any of the AMA questions at the moment yet, guys. I'm just going through my sheet, and then when I'm done, I'll have a little look in. NFT marketplace, the only thing remaining on the Q1 roadmap, and I can safely say that as of about an hour ago, the end part of coding had been completed. So we are now ready to launch the NFT marketplace in its alpha stage. What that means is we're currently, amongst other things, the developers are developing the marketplace, which you've all seen sneak peeks on Twitter and other avenues. What we're going to do, what we've decided to do, is we will invite the closest partner projects that we are working with relentlessly behind the scenes to basically have not a soft launch, but have the ability to go in privately to the completed NFT marketplace, go in, view it, play with it, break it if they can, suggest any forms of updates or amendments, things that they would like to see maybe differently from a UI UX experience, to increase that wow factor when it launches. Now, there is no, when is it going to come out to the public? When are the public going to be able to sort of click and play around? That will be when that process is finished. We're aiming for mid-April for it to be live with everything on it. But we decided to do that for that specific reason, is that these people who are the partners who are listing, and there's a fair few at different stages of the process, and we're trying to sort of line them up like aircraft coming into land at the different stages. But we want their viewpoint, because we don't want to launch something that is sort of just a bare bones. So that's the way we're going to go with it. I appreciate that it means you can't quite get your I want to say grubby little hands on it, but you guys can't play around with it quite just yet, but it has been completed. The developers have been working relentlessly on it, and it does look great. So we will continue that process, and that's the plan with the NFT marketplace. So that's where we are. Also, there's the whole security perspective. We are gonna be going over because it's proprietary. We are having additional security sort of measures put in place, and with the platform, we're going to have it sort of pen tested from our internal sources as well. So we will use that time where the partners are essentially scrutinizing over the platform to continue sort of pushing it for security leaks and any other sort of untoward factors. As we've all noticed, there's that $600 million hack that just happened to Axie and on their own in network. So that's with the NFT marketplace. I'll finish the next little piece of alpha, and then I will go to questions. So revenue share. Revenue share is, we're going to release it slightly earlier, but we're going to release a very crude alpha version of it, what a revenue share. Basically, we want to start sharing the revenue, but the mechanisms aren't quite in place yet. So we are going to create essentially an alpha version. The alpha version will be 100% of the revenue that we generate on the platform. That revenue, the ETH generated from that revenue will be used to buy ARC. That ARC will then be added to the single side staking to boost the APY. So I'll go over that again. All of the revenue brought in from swaps and what will be the NFT marketplace and the other areas of the site will be collated, and then there'll be a bulk purchase of Ethereum to buy ARC, which supports the token price, and then that ARC will then be taken and put into the rewards wallet for single side staking on the same timeline. So it will increase the APY. And because we obviously haven't got revenue sharing complete yet, we think that's because, but we are collecting it. We want to just put it all back in to support the token price, and that's the easiest way that we can give back to you as token holders before revenue sharing is fully completed. So those are my updates so far. So does anyone, before I go into the questions, does anyone want to ask any questions verbally? Let me just jump back in here. Any hands or any? There's one here. Sigro? Welcome, Sigro. Good to have you on the stage. Can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me? If you guys can raise your hands, or have I just been talking? Good. Okay. Right. So, okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. Sigro, can you? Oh. Okay. While Sigro's playing around with his mic and oh, let's try it again. Might be in settings in the voice and audio. Maybe you've got the headphones and mic on different channels. Let me go to some of the AMA questions whilst we're waiting for Sigro there. AMA questions. Where do they start? Okay, thanks Ryan for drawing the dotted line. How long is the lock for, please? Ellen Myers asks, how long is the lock for? I'm guessing you talking about the 100 million extra tokens. In that case, not sure. It will probably be, if I say probably, it's going to become gospel. It'll be a period of time, and then they'll be unlocked over another period of time in increments of months. It could be a year, say, or it could be 8 months, and then they'll probably be unlocked over a period of 4, 5, 6, 7 months, something like that. But we will announce that to you. Can I disclose one partnership? Nope. I can't disclose any partnerships at this stage. That's not my job. I can't steal that thunder from the marketing side. Sigro is getting a lot of abuse here. Thank you, Sigro. Reference to circulation supply. Wondering how long you think it would take to get revenue share. So a lot of the revenue share or the smart contract and the concepts work in the background, but as you can imagine, everyone's been on NFT marketplace bar a couple. So once that's completely closed off and we're good to go, then all the attention will divert onto revenue share, which we know is a huge USP. But we just wanted to give you guys something back, so that's why we've done it early on those means. It won't be a huge massive amount, but also on Ethereum it makes more sense to offer you the rewards that way, but it won't change the overall goal of revenue share. This is just a very rudimentary version. Revenue share due to start will be in Q2. The proper one will be in Q2. When will the ARC tokens be bought with the revenue share money gradually each day or all at once? A good question. They will probably be bought in a few increments. It won't be announced because that then allows people to use as exit liquidity and basically trade against us. So it will be done as and when the team decides. That's probably the best way to say it. Okay, it's good to see you guys just abusing each other now on the AMA questions. Although I can't mention the specific partnership, one of the partnerships that we're working with very closely have around their NFT zone have got celebrities, a couple of celebrities from the sports arena who they're working with. So they've got thousands of followers. So there should be a good traction there. And we're looking for those partnerships to be able to have a co-marketing. So that will be where there should be a lot of movement there. So we're very much looking forward to with those NFT marketplace partnerships having a lot more traction than we would do with our other partnerships in the DeFi world. So we're really excited to see that. And they're looking to exclusively launch on our platform and use our platform as their main NFT exclusive site. So we're really excited about that, and they're a great bunch of guys. So very excited. Let me have a little look back on questions. Is there still a plan on getting the market maker started again? I understand why it hasn't been started yet. Curious if it's still in the plans to get that volume up. In short, yes, it is in the plans. Will I tell you when? No. For the obvious reason that, again, it allows you to sort of counter trade. But yes, it will be. It's all the old plans will be coming back into the fold, guys. We just wanted to draw a line, especially with the Gate and BKEX tokens. Getting those out to people that they deserve, and it's just about closing off all of those loose ends from Depot. So we do appreciate all your patience, but it's just, unfortunately, these things do take a little bit of time. Right, yeah, our friends at Gate. Any news on the ARC listing? In short, Gate are saying, yes, they'll list us, no problem. They then sent me through a list of all the tokens. I asked them specifically for tokens from 2200 UTC 8th of March. Yep, they understood. Yep, no problem. They sent me a list of every token they've got today. They've got that 18 million wallet, the 900,000 wallet for people that bought just recently. So the problem is they're not really listening. I really don't like blaming other projects and other people, because I should think that shows incredible sort of weakness and poor character. But on this occasion, they are particularly being slow and confused. And when it comes to delivering tokens to our community, we just decided to take that out of their hands entirely. Just purely because once I give them the tokens, if you have a question of why didn't this arrive, we can't check it. It's just, it would be a tough luck situation, and we didn't want to do that with what we've put you through. So we decided to take that out of their hands. They are still looking to list us, but obviously they are in no huge rush. So we're getting back and forth with them. They might throw their toys out the pram. They may do the fact that I've taken that out of their hands and just deliver the tokens, or they may just not care and list us anyway. But dialogue every day with them. It's just a bit painful. It's like pulling teeth a little bit, if I'm honest. But we will keep you updated on that. Roughly how long will the single size staking go on for? A year, 2 years, ballpark figure, please? It will be depending on numerous factors. One being revenue share and volume. I haven't got an answer for that question, if I'm completely honest. There is no ballpark figure. But we do. The one thing I can say is single side staking to us is I was going to say Mecca, but I probably shouldn't use any form of religious connotations. But it is the pinnacle of an ARC holder, because if you locking that in there is saying your intent is that you will not be, using the tokens for anything else. So that is what we sort of concentrate our number one focus on. So what I say is that will be the last one to go. So I hope that kind of answers your question, or at least satisfies you, LMI, just for a little bit longer. I'm going to Germany next. Which event? It's a corporate connections event. It's a very closed door event. This is not a summit or an exhibition. It is a closed door event that's a paid event, that's an invite only event that I've been lucky enough to be invited to by a friend of the community that will remain nameless. So a huge, amazing opportunity. There are there is a couple of sort of important people in our industry that will be there. So incredibly looking forward to spending some time with a member of the community, obviously, but also to just sort of improve our network and speak to some of these incredibly credible individuals. Can I drop any blue chip NFTs that will be listed in my... No. Say the name Jimmy, then drop the J. Is that how you pronounce my name? Immy. Right, sorry. Not LMI. Apologies. Is the rebranding final, and should we expect to see the styling on the website going forward, or is there more comprehensive work being done beyond this first pass? The website we've highlighted. The design and marketing team, mainly the marketing team, have highlighted the fact that the web, what we would call par. We want the website to have that wow factor, and we know that there is a long way to go with that. So, with regards to the website, no, it's not the final pass. However, the logo and the color scheme is complete. That won't change. But there will be constant work done with our updating our design and style and the UI UX experience. I see a lot of arc passing by with references to GameFi. Could you please expand on that? Not specifically, no. Not at this stage. So you guys are getting really confident and ballsy with the questions. I like it. I have an NFT. How can I sell it on the marketplace? What are the process to do this, please? Again, it'd be very similar to a normal NFT site, but all this information, when we release the marketplace, will be supported up with videos, instructional text, and that's why that we're spending that extra little bit of time just to go through to make sure that when we put it in someone else's hands, much like if you write an email, you think it's a masterpiece and someone looks at it and rips it apart, it's very easy to get the blinkers on when you're creating something, even in a team of sort of 15 to 20. So we really want to just take it outside the organization to people who are in this industry specifically, and they can basically go through, rip apart anything we've done, change. I say rip apart, they're not that aggressive, but complete constructive criticism, and we've got a little bit of extra time just to go through and tweak all those extra bits. One being, we'll try and get as much information on the site as possible so you can walk through that process. Make it newbie proof, please. We'll do our best. Make it IMI proof, yeah. IMI should have two M's in the English language. IMI is how it's spelled, so yeah. How can the community best support the project over the next 3 months? Holding shilling feedback. Go to your bank, remortgage your house, and then just put all of your money and all of your savings into ARK. That's a joke, and it's not financial advice. I'm just joking. Honestly, as far as support goes, just keep doing what you're doing. Talk to everyone. You've got an amazing sense of humor, most of you, with regards to your patience and your attitude towards each other. And that does slowly permeate out into the community. The one thing I would say is that any outsiders you can bring in, coerce, friends and family. No, but if you can get into any other groups, or if you know anyone else, any way of spreading the word of crypto and of what we're trying to do would be amazing. But yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. Leave it to us. That's sweet, you pumpkin. Is there a plan to announce something to the community about the mini delay for the marketplace? It's okay. We don't see it as a delay to the marketplace. We've completed the marketplace, but we're not just going to throw it out there and rush it by sending out to the community. Oh, we would change this. Can we change this? Can we change this? And then bring it back in and have to then go over it. So it's we don't see it as a delay. The marketplace has been completed in Q1 by a day early, actually, with 1 day to spare. But we're going to deploy it at the best possible level we can, because it's such an important part of what we're doing, especially with in the space at the moment. So we see that as a sensible move. Referrals. I believe I just drag up the roadmap. Yes, tiered referrals is in Q2 as well. You haven't heard much about that because it's all been about NFT and then with a bit of revenue share. But once all those things are locked up and deployed and working, obviously the developers move on to the next product. Rollout is a better way of putting it. So yeah, it will be, to answer your question, Jimbo, because obviously we're not sure entirely how long that process will take. It might take a shorter period of time for them to go over and have their viewpoint. They might love it instantly. So the answer is, because we haven't given it to them yet, we don't know. So, but we will not procrastinate on rolling out the product. Put it that way. Once it's good to go and we're all happy and we're all content, it will go out. Ryan's been at Disney World on Space Mountain. Can't listen yet. Is it delayed? No, Silverphone, it's not delayed. Such a nuisance. Have there been changes to the additions to the team or developers' business development? No. I say that, I must think. No. We have not had any significant recruitment or removals of anyone. It's been the same team for the last couple of weeks. As you can imagine, we're all everyone's very busy anyway, and we're at sort of a level and size now that we want to stay at for a period of time. Everyone's starting to understand how everyone works, strengths and weaknesses. So when NFT marketplace is out and when the revenue sharing is complete, we'll assess. But we don't plan on making any huge amounts of changes going forward at all. This is a comfortable size for us from a financial perspective and from a development speed perspective, and it's finding that sort of that balance. A screenshot, a short video. There's been some screenshots out there of the NFT marketplace, but the genius whiz who's controlling the recording, Severo Systems, who do a lot of video editing, will be working on that in the future. 2 seconds, guys. I'm just... going through this. Okay, I'm being badgered aggressively because I have not sold this well enough. I'll be honest with you. The project that we're working with, I touched on. They have thousands. These celebrities have thousands of followers. It's more in the millions. Which actually, thinking about it and the names that were mentioned, it is collectively in the millions. So yes, that project that we are working, which will be one of the first ones on board, their sports, these sports celebrity have millions of followers combined. So yeah, we're talking about sort of football / soccer, NFL, some of the biggest sports in the world. So yeah, we this is the one we're really excited about. Apologies, as a Brit, I'm gonna underplay everything slightly, much to the team's sort of dismay at times. But yeah, so apologies. Soccer. Nope. We won't lower ourselves to that level. Imi. Mid-April NFT marketplace is for alpha. Is the leadership? No, the leadership, the partners that are going to list on the platform. It's their close knit community. It's their close knit team. We're not allowing their whole community to play with it. No, it's the people who are much like the internal ARC team, but it's the other project. I've got to make sure I don't just slip names out. Is there a plan to add the rest of the team to the webpage? 5 employees on the website, and if I call TJ saying this, yes, there is. Oracle Jimbo, there is a plan to put all of them on there. That, if I'm honest with you, that's probably just taken a backseat due to the hectic nature of that fun rebrand thing we did, if you remember. So yes, in answer to that, there will be a change. And I'm looking on the website now. Obviously, the blue that's been selected on the Arc Comet, or whatever you want to call it, is not the same color. So yeah, there are loads of sort of design tweaks we've got to do, but we're focusing on that content, and then we'll go back and do that. Yeah, I'm just saying soccer in an American way. Don't list devs on the website. Other projects might try to poach them. Okay, all I'll say to that is that if Alex Hong had been listed on a website, someone might have seen that and connected the dots. I don't see a problem with it. If we're creating a workspace and an environment that the developers love and they enjoy, and they enjoy what they're building, then from a job satisfaction perspective, they're going to stay. If we're creating a shitty work environment, they'll leave anyway. So I don't think people will be actively poaching. They can try, but we've got nothing to hide in that department. Can us plebs apply to test? No, not you. Not someone of your caliber, I'm afraid. Sorry, just to clarify, someone in our back team has picked me up because they thought I've said something too faster than Silverfern. Just to clarify, I said not someone of your caliber. I've had a few questions reference that. I must allude to the fact that I know there's a bit of banter back and forth between myself and Faster Than Silverfern. So yeah. Any other questions, guys, about any of the topics that we've mentioned? I can't stress enough, it probably doesn't sound it, how excited we are about the first partnership. They are hugely enthusiastic about what they do. Every time we have a video call with them, you can see that sort of passion that they have for the product that they're developing oozing through, and we've got a great working relationship with them already. And they're locking in some seriously decent partnerships themselves, their end. So yes, I do not want to play down our excitement towards our partnerships in the NFT marketplace. And you guys are just going on about American football and football. The size of the current team, 28. I think 2 or 3 are part-time. When can we expect Solana to be incorporated into the Arc ecosystem? I'm going to say something now. I can feel DJ and Nick in the background wincing, but some of the chains are easier to factor in than others. I believe we'll have to get Henry up for some of these questions, but I believe it was Terra, Solana, I think Cosmos. There were a few of them that were quite a lot more complicated to fold in, but yes, we're looking at every single chain we want to fold in everything. Some are easier to do than others. Obviously, the ones we've got at the moment are of the easiest ilk to factor in, and we will be pushing that. Yes, I appreciate that's not specifically mentioned in the roadmap, but it is something that we are still working on. Yeah, not the safest place to be, Forrest Gump, I guess, if you're in the wrong areas. So reference the chains. Henry, the CTO, has been there's a little project he's been working on for years, actually, that he's kindly looking to share with us. But correct me if I'm right. No, I know I'm right. Cardano wanted to use this product, and it's been published in some scientific journals as well. So, this is the sort of the caliber we're trying to bring into the fold behind the scenes. So that'd be great. And this is what TJ's been working on with him in the background, to fold in his vision with the technical expertise of Henry. So that's why you've probably heard a little bit less of TJ than you would normally do, and possibly normally like to, and that's why you're stuck with me. For the meantime, any last few questions? Nights out in Belfast. Bonds deployment, no real update at the moment, if I'm honest. We haven't, it's still ticking over in the background, but we only have so many people and so many hands, so it's taken a little bit of a backseat. But I promise you, once we've started knocking down the dominoes on the roadmap, we'll move on to the next one. I know TJ is super passionate about bonds, so that'll be something that we look at shortly. Well, it'll be Good Morning Arc for starters, and we will start to factor that in once we've drawn the line in the sand with the previous depot and everyone's got their tokens. We don't feel it's necessarily right to be too jovial when people are still waiting on a decision that we made. So we want to get all of that cleared off, make sure everyone has been given those tokens that they've been so patiently waiting for, and then we'll start to sort of reinvigorate that. But it won't be long. It won't be long. Like I said, we're nearly done with the centralized exchange tokens. Do I have some kind of price bandwidth? ARC ideally needs to be midterm to be able to cover healthy growth without having to sell more than desirable. What a question. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to answer that, if I'm honest with you. How long's a piece of string on that one? I know you want me to hear that. I would just be making it up at this stage. So I'm not going to go there. Who's the NFT king? Without a doubt, Ryan. Kept quiet about it as well. Kept quiet about it for quite a while, but he is an absolute ninja and DJ when it comes to that. I think he's got hundreds. The exchange with BitBoy's team, that was one of the interns, I believe, that got a bite back. It was BitBoy's news channel. Not to play it down as sort of 30,000-40,000 followers, but they thought we were after a paid chill, and I think they then looked on our website, didn't see the LinkedIn links on our page, which are there now. I hasten to add, but they might have a look at us. There's no connection there. It just solely what that intern or whoever that was, I forget, sorry, who it was that made that connection. That's all they're doing. So fair play to them. And like I said before, as much as a clown, BitBoy, Carl the Moon, Crypto, all those guys that just scream down the phone at 14-year-olds to buy things, buy, sell. At the end of the day, does it matter? Because it's just going to increase exposure. We would never actively pay for one of those types because of their credibility. But if they decide to shout us from the rooftops, then or mention us, then happy days. You got enough money to sustain yourselves. How long? Sticky. Again, how long is a piece of string? It's not a money tree, but it's all planned in. We're careful. We're very careful with our budgets we spend. We're not just throwing all the cash on sort of whims. So yes, we're confident we will be able to sustain ourselves through. If this doesn't turn out to be another bull cycle or even any form of a rally, then yes, we can sustain ourselves. Ryan is a bit of a nerd. Yeah, he is a bit of a nerd, but in this space, that's invaluable. And I think it's probably fair to say that Ryan's contribution to the project is immeasurable with his community work and his knowledge in the blockchain space. He has helped us in a number of areas that are outside his purview. So, okay, I think we're getting down to the not stupid questions, but when marketing, again, it's coming, but it's not just an empty money pit where you just throw sort of tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars at influencers. It's all shallow. So we have a plan. Nick is a genius at this, and he's a genius at working with a tiny budget as well. That budget's going to increase, don't worry, but we've got to increase it at the right time in the right areas. And this is something that we're all considering. So do not worry about that. Right. So there is another blockchain. Actually, I'm sorry, just going back through my notes. I jumped. There is another blockchain that we're having discussions with that then have their own partnerships, especially in that sort of NFT world. I can't give any more details about that, but there are, like I said, imagine planes coming to land. They're all stacked up, one after the other. So as NFT projects come around at different times, they look to mint and list at different times. We're all working in the background to sort of secure these partnerships. It's quite a thankless task. But this is another thing that TJ's been working on in the background, doing a bit of business development with Nick and with Ryan. Ryan, again, another area he's been working on as well. So that's really good. So again, it's a very busy time. So we want to use their expertise to look at the platform, and we're really excited about that. So yeah, it's some exciting times. It's been sent a DM. Cardano or Cadena? Am I saying it wrong? I'm probably saying it wrong. Okay, guys, let's look to wrap this up. Any last final questions? Update the Twitter page to state you can buy straight on the ARC website. You're missing out on some dollar. Fair point. Liam, Nick, if you're in the audience there, if we can make a little note of that and get that changed. So actually, that was another question. We are going through the process again. The question was, would you share? It was Benergetic that asked a question about sharing the legal entity. That's all been done and paid for. Unbelievably, due to our luck, they are apparently stacked up with work. So we're pushing them, but when all that paperwork comes through, we will announce. We can share that information on the next MA. It's not a problem at all. And once we've got that, then we can then change the on ramp, the fiat on ramp, to be able to buy ARC straight away. They need a legal entity, so we're waiting on that to go through. So there's a slight delay for that one. We're going back? Bear the banker. What's going on here? Are you worried? Are you worried about and preparing for types of regulatory risks that may be coming down the line? It seems many countries are starting to get more involved in regulatory action. Again, that's part of going to these summits. There are these small sponsors that show their own sort of projects, but there's also keynote speakers that they have that are at the forefront of the blockchain space and the crypto industry. And there was one whole section. They had a lady from Barclays Bank in the UK, and they're talking about, and they'd come from that sort of fiat background with regulation. That's all they've been doing is regulation. So they were talking about I think it was about a 45-minute talk on regulation and the different sort of states and how they were going to look to do it. And the overarching thing she said, and she'd been working for sort of 15 years in regular centralized finance, and she said that these things just never come overnight. It takes years for regulation to first understand, then work out what they want to regulate and what they want to and what sort of different rules they want to impose. But as our space moves quickly, it should impact on their movement. But they're not going to want to stifle innovation, but they're just going to want probably a little bit more open honesty, as Sigwo's mentioned. So no, we're not concerned about that space. Some of the projects who want to stay cloak and dagger, they may have issues going forward with credibility, but we will always be up and honest and open. But we still believe in the DeFi principle to the core. So no, we're not. In short, no, we're not concerned about that. Yes, I'll be driving past your neck of the woods at some stage. I can bring you some German beer back. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? I think Bear the Banker had the last. Not that I don't love your comments, but yeah. Thanks, Jasper. No problem, guys. Thank you for your patience. And Sigro, sorry we couldn't get you up on stage and hear you. We'll have to do a pre-check next time to make sure that all the comms are working. It's fine. I had a mare with it in Dubai, so it's all good. Perfect. Okay, guys. As previously stated, that this has been recorded, so it will be put out. Severo will put that out on YouTube, and we'll share it across in these channels as well. And keep an eye out for the newsletter that will start to go out in the, especially in Telegram. So yeah. This is going to be me talking. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else, let's wrap it up.